Most executives think AI is for generating emails or summarizing long documents, but if you're a CFO or a transformation leader, you don't need more words. You need more time and better decision-making data. I'm Alexandra, and I've led transformations where the biggest bottleneck wasn't the technology. It was the cognitive load on the leadership. We spent 60% of our week in coordination tasks, chasing status updates, sitting in low-value meetings, and prepping for calls we haven't had time to research. Does it sound familiar? Today, I'm showing you how to turn Microsoft Copilot into your digital chief of staff. I've developed 5 specific agentic prompts designed to audit your calendar, prioritize your week based on financial impact, and ensure that when you walk into a room, you are the most prepared person there. We aren't just looking for productivity hacks, we are looking for structural time recovery. Let's go. So before the next week starts, I want to make a recap of what's next. What's for the next week? What are the most important priorities, key meetings for me? This is what I've called high-stakes briefing, which I would ask Copilot to list key meetings for the next week. For this, I'm using this prompt. For next week, identify my key meetings using these rules: decision-making required, external participants, and preparation needed, and explain why it's so key. So I'm asking Copilot to do that. I'm waiting a couple of seconds. It browses my calendar and also my Outlook. And I think that after a couple of minutes, we will find the solution to that. So we have the answer now. I have 9 meetings scheduled for the next week. The meeting with Juliet, which is an external meeting, and it explains why it's important, how to prepare the meeting with George, and so on. It still thinks. There are also meetings that are not classified as key, which are those that don't have participants. What is interesting here is that you can schedule this prompt, which is so useful and few people know about it. So basically you take this prompt and you say how often it should be repeated. Let's say we want it to be repeated every week on Friday at 3 p.m. until July. So I'm basically saving it and I'm waiting for it to become active. I can of course deactivate anytime I want. The next great prompt is the efficiency filter. So basically I have my calendar packed with meetings and I want to ask Copilot, what can I reduce, what can I eliminate, what can I shorten? So I've called this the efficiency filter. I've prepared this prompt, act as my executive productivity and calendar optimization advisor, using my Outlook, calendar, emails, and recent meeting, analyze my current schedule and identify meetings that are low value, duplicative, or informational, and so on. Classify each meeting into one of the following: decision critical, alignment check-in, information, internal. Propose a redesigned ideal week that preserves only high-value meetings, batches meetings into tight blocks, and creates at least 2-3 protected deep work blocks, which is great. And quantify this impact. Okay, let's get it going. You will find this exact prompt in the description of this episode, so you don't have to copy it right now. I'm waiting for the result. It would be a multi-step process that would take a couple of minutes, I think so. Great, so we have the answer and it's blunt and actionable. So what we have, it says that I only have 9 events. Oh, well, it's an illustrative example only. Obviously, we would have more meetings over the next 4 weeks, but I likely have one duplicate. The briefing with George, one is external and the other is internal, so kill the internal one. I have two 90-minute briefings with no invitees or agenda. No, but that's important with the CEO. Well, I cannot kill it. Thursday is a focus killer. So I have meetings with clients, conference in London, briefing with George. So I have no unusable dead zones for deep work. So it's this Thursday is not very good for me, I would say. So it summarizes what it sees, it highlights what is low value, and it makes recommendations what can be shortened, for example, meeting with Juliet, what can be merged, and what is conditional. And it even made a table with the classification. So the next thing that I want to show you that Copilot not only produces answers and recommendations, but it has become agentic as well. What does it mean? It means that I can not only listen to the answers, but also ask Copilot to make these changes. So I'm asking it, okay, so erase the internal meeting with George from my calendar and also shorten the briefing with Juliet to 30 minutes. Let's go. So this agentic feature of Copilot is especially useful because I don't need to go to switch to the calendar and do it myself. So it's definitely my digital chief of staff. Okay, it asks ready to reschedule the meeting. Please confirm. Meeting with Juliet. Yes, I confirm. Okay, so it's done. It shortened the meeting with Juliet to 30 minutes. That's great. And limitation, internal briefing with George cannot be auto-erased by me. You asked me to erase the internal meeting, identify it correctly. I cannot delete or cancel a meeting where you are the organizer. Oh, well, what to do? So it still asks me to change it. So you might wonder what it looks like in my calendar when Copilot rescheduled the meeting. So we can see setting up some time to meet and discuss. This invite was sent by Copilot on behalf of me. So it's clear that it's not me directly, but the Copilot. So if there were any errors, then we would know it's their fault, basically. The next thing I would love to show you is the decision brief. So every time before a meeting, I need to have a full recap. What's going on with the person I'm meeting, what's the conversation history. So I've prepared this script that I can reuse whenever I have a meeting with anyone from my team, for example, or a client. Prepare a decision-focused meeting brief for my next meeting with George using our emails, chats, files, summarized context, open loops, decision needed, key questions, risks, and draft a pre-meeting message. Do not assume anything not explicitly stated. I've received the decision brief. So here is the meeting details. When and where, who is the organizer, what's the title, and also it summarized the agenda, the key discussion points from the message, the email that I received from George yesterday. So these are key points that he wants to raise. So basically, I have all information there, and I will be prepared for the meeting perfectly. And the last thing I want to show you is the priority filter. So basically, every Friday, I want to set priorities for the next week. And I want to make it based on my Outlook calendar and based on on the messages that I've received over the week. And I've prepared such a prompt. Act as my executive chief of staff using only my calendar, emails, Teams, and any files or pre-reads explicitly referenced. Do the following. Extract all signals about what matters next week. Topics emphasized in meeting agendas, decision requested or implied, deadlines, risks, and from these define exactly 3 priorities for me for the next week. So for each priority, provide what success looks like, which meetings or threads it connects to, and the actions that I need to take. Rank these 3 priorities in strict order. Okay, let's go. So we have the answer of Copilot. We see the signals that it analyzed, and we see the 3 priorities. So priority number 1 is comes from the meeting with George. It's on AI sourcing and capacity in hiring. It links to one of my meetings, and the success criteria is a clear yes or no, and the owner for next steps. The next priority is to finalize my direction on Juliet deck. That's clear for me. And priority number 3 apparently is removing calendar ambiguity. That's funny. So we see these priorities. So now I can move on and start my next week afresh and prepared and very well summarize on what I shall do and what are the priorities. So these prompts I've shared today are more than just shortcuts. They are the first step in treating your own time as a financial asset. If you found these frameworks useful, I've put the exact prompt text in the description below for you to copy and use immediately. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which of these hacks is going to buy you the most headspace this week? If your organization is looking to move beyond AI pilots and into structural financial impact, subscribe here for more finance-led transformation insights.